everyone. This is Yamina from DrGPCR, and I'm excited today to be recording the video edition of the August DrGPCR newsletter. And today, as guests, not one, but multiple guests, I have with me the organizers of the third Transatlantic GPCR Symposium for Early Career Investigators. And excited to have you all here. How about we start with a round of introductions, and then we can dive into the news. And I will actually nominate the first person, and you get to nominate the next one so we can go around. So Aditya, please, you go first.
Thank you, Yamina. Hi, everyone. My name is Aditya, and I'm a postdoc at the University of Michigan Medical School, and I'm one of the 4 organizers for this year's ECI GPCR Symposium. I'm very happy to be here, as Yamina mentioned, and I see Gabriel next on my screen, so I'll just nominate him.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Yamina. So my name is Gabriel. I'm a PhD student at the University of Copenhagen, and I'm excited to be here and to share with everyone and promote this event for early career researchers. And now let's go to Franziska.
Hi, I'm Franziska. I'm a postdoc slash junior group leader at the University of Marburg in Germany. And I'm excited to be here and talk about this event with all of you. And yeah, the next person is Sri.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sriparna Majumdar. I'm a postdoc at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And I'm really excited for this event. And I'm here to tell everyone, come join us. So let's begin.
All right, super. Thank you so much, everybody, for that kind introduction. So how about I start out with a couple of questions, and then we can start off the conversation. Let's talk about the event in September, and then I have DrGPCR news as well to share. So this is the third event for this online free event, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about how did you get involved. You can just take turns to tell us. If you want, we can take the same route.
Yeah, I think with this event, actually, it's traditionally an application form for the previous attendance of the meeting, and then the current organizers choose the next team of organizers, trying to balance it, like having people from the States and Europe.
I like it. Yeah, you're really 50-50 Europe versus North America, also male versus female, which I think it's a nice way to go about it. So
And
tell us, please, go ahead.
Yeah. So the whole idea of the meeting is really to pass on the baton from one set of early career investigators slash postdocs, graduate students, whatever you call it, to the next one seamlessly without involving really senior PIs, because the whole idea is that conferences generally are paid. It's tough. Traveling is not simple. You're all busy people, mostly as trainees also. So just having this platform where you can share your data, network, and be among trainees, and also still get to be mentored by senior PIs who will be part of it at different points in time. It's just awesome, and this is how we'd like to keep it in the future.
No, I like it. I think it completely embodies the spirit of DrGPCR as well as what we're doing. And I think there is this big gap. You go to conferences, as you said, Aditya, it's expensive. You have to ask permission. You have to have data. And maintaining it online, I think it's very important. Keeping it free is also important. One thing I'd say that we've been, from a DrGPCR perspective, thinking about and doing is really not making a distinction between trainees and PIs. So all of our events, everybody is welcome. So you could be giving a talk after a PI who's been doing this for 25 years. And I think it's scary, but it's also important, because as a trainee, you're the expert at your own project. Not your PI, you are the expert. You know how many microliters of reagents you've used, you've generated the data, you analyze the data. So I think that's very important. And I think keeping that bridge, as you mentioned, between Europe and this side of the pond is also very important, because at the end of the day, no matter where we are, we all love GPCRs. We're part of the same community.
And to that, I would like to add, for somebody who joined the field, like I'm new to the field, so I took this opportunity as a great opportunity to, like, network myself also and get to know three of my fellow co-organizers, like what they do and like how they approach. So that's a very good opportunity also as a co-organizer. Like you get to know a lot more people than you could have doing it yourself.
No, agreed. I think you make a great point, and I think being part of such an event, not only as a presenter but also as a co-organizer, it's important because you learn skills. You can put it on your resume, you can put it on your CV, and you actually get to get a taste for these events before you move on to your next chapter in your career. All right, so tell us a little bit more about the program this year and the format compared to the previous years. I'll let anyone just hop in.
So I guess in essence, the program just created itself. I feel. I mean, it's perfectly suited. We have talks by graduate students and postdocs in different headers, depending on what you do, essentially, and we cover almost everything under the under the sky in GPCRs. And there are two keynote lecturers this time, as previously. And we are really happy that we have on day one, which is 7th of September, Nina Svetanova from Duke. And on 8th, we have Matthew Eddy from University of Florida, who are really doing some really cool, awesome stuff in GPCR. So we're really excited. And then we essentially have lunch panels on both days. Well, it's lunch, breakfast, dinner, depending on where you are, right? But essentially, this is a 45-minute, 1-hour time slot where you get to sit with PIs, junior, senior, everybody, and chat about anything. It's a freewheeling conversation. You can talk about science, life, career, whatever. And then we are also planning a career session, which is like a panel discussion.
Do you have your career panelists list ready or not yet?
We have some confirmations, some coming up. So keep an eye on the website, and we'll have more soon.
Oh, that's great. And then we're going to be linking the website into the comments when this video is released so that people can go and take a look at the program. So let's say I'm a student and I would like to come and give a talk or present a poster, if that's possible. What do I do?
Go to the website, register, and we're actually choosing basically all the talks except for the keynotes from submitted abstracts. So they have very good chances of getting a talk or a poster. So please do send abstracts.
Awesome. And what's the
and also
deadline?
maybe to add,
Please.
we have also many different parts of the GPCR field. So where whatever kind of field you're coming from, there's a place for everyone to present their topic and their expertise.
Yeah, thank you for that, Gabriel. I think that's very important. One comment I typically get when I invite people to the Dr. GPCR podcast, they say, well, I don't directly work on GPCRs. I work on beta-arrestins, or I work on GRKs. And I say, well, it's still part of the field. So you don't have to work on one GPCR. You have to work in the field. And the field includes all the signaling proteins that have anything to do with GPCRs. And so I think it's the same thing for this 2-day event as well. All right. The other question I had, and I actually forgot what the question was, which is not very helpful. How did you, when you came up with the schedule from a time difference perspective, what did you have in mind, considering that's transatlantic GPCR symposium?
It's almost like we figured what the midpoint between the west coast of the US and Europe, the easternmost part is, and it's almost like it runs on the Eastern time, 9 to 5 kind of thing. Not exactly 9 to 5, but the day.
Yeah.
But so that we have the flexibility to, as as much possible, involve everybody in this time zone. But having said all of that, we'd love participants from all around the planet. It doesn't matter where you are from, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, South America, wherever, Africa. Even if you are sitting in the South Pole and if you have access to internet and have registered, please come on in and listen to some cool GPCR stuff.
That's awesome. I think it's a funny thing when you do these online meetings, because it's hard. You need to pick times where you want to involve as many people as possible. And I think for our first symposium this year, our first speaker was from Australia, and the last speaker was also from Australia. So we started at 8 a.m. We had a late, a night owl, and then we had an early riser at the end of the day. So I think that's very important. The other question I had for you is, what is the platform that you're using for the poster presentations and for people to actually meet together, just to give people an idea as to what to expect on those 2 days? Anyone?
Okay, so we are using 4Waves, which we used earlier as well, and they've supported us for the third year now. It's basically the one stopgap solution for us as of now for registering participants, managing all submissions, and we'll host our posters there. It'll be one poster will be like one small room where people just join the presenter and chat about their work. And the rest of the meeting will be on Zoom.
On Zoom. Great, that's good to know. Is there a limit on the poster numbers that you can host?
Not really, just come submit. We have enough.
All right. Anybody
the internet is seamless, so
that's amazing. I think that's very important to mention, because most of the time people think, oh, it's a poster, maybe there's a limit and I have to hurry up. We still ask people to hurry up because we want to make sure that you're registered. Maybe you get selected to give a talk, which I think is, it's a great honor. It's more work, it's more stressful, but at the end of the day, you get more out of it. You really get out of your comfort zone as a trainee. So please go ahead and register for the meeting, but also register for poster presentations. I had another question. I don't know. It's too early this morning, and I'm having a hard time gathering my questions here. But is the event going to be 2 full days?
Yes, it's essentially 2 full days on 7th and 8th, depending on days. 7th and 8th September, you're absolutely right. Depending on where you are, it could be full days, half evening, half night, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But the stuff is going to be very interesting. So if you can stay awake, have some coffee if you're in India, China, wherever, Australia, please join us. Because you asked about registrations, I'd like to emphasize that as of now, when we are recording this, the deadline for abstract submissions is 13th of August. For if you're interested in an oral presentation, so just jump in and register yourself and put in your abstracts. But depending on when this comes online, we might simply push it a little bit further, so you still have time. So don't worry about it.
That's good to know. I was just gonna say, because today, and I think we can put it on video saying that today is August 7th. So the deadline is very, very quickly approaching, and we'll try to get this video out before to let everybody know. Although this is the August edition, and we typically release the newsletter at the end of the month, but the video can go out a little bit sooner as well. I just remember the question I had for you is, for the poster presentations, is the expectation to have a fully presentable poster ready to go? Or let's say you have a little bit of data, you really want to have a discussion with the community, you have a couple of slides, can you still come to present?
I think it's totally fine to have some data that you'd like to discuss. So that's quite different from standard meetings where you're more or less expected to have a full story. But we would like to give everybody the opportunity to discuss and get input.
I think that's important to emphasize, because most of the time I think people think, when they think about a poster presentation, it has to be a full story, a full poster, everything to the millimeter, well organized. And I think this is a meeting where you just have to come, participate, have conversations. You have an idea of a story, you have some preliminary data. It's okay to come because you'll get the experience. You might meet someone who says, "Oh, I tried that, it doesn't work," or "I tried that. Have you thought about this?" Or just add in some BSA and everything will start working again. You never know. You actually never know who you get to talk to.
And
Yeah,
I
also,
think it's important though to have a good title so that people who are interested in what you're doing come to your poster. So I think that's the most important part. Have a title that describes what you're doing, and also maybe the type of feedback you're interested in or the people you'd like to talk to.
I love it. Gabrielle, you were going to say and Sri as well. Let's start with Sri and then we can move to Gabrielle.
I was going to say, this is a good opportunity, as you never know when somebody can offer you like, "Oh, we have done this. Why don't you like collaborate?" So maybe, a good collaboration opportunity as well.
Thank you,
So
Gabrielle.
Yeah, I also wanted to add, the goal of the conference is to promote or provoke any kind of conversation. So it doesn't really matter where that's coming from a full blown out poster, or just a single slide. And also I think it lowers the threshold because you can talk to kind of anyone, and maybe in person it's a bit more difficult sometimes to approach someone. And I think this is a very low threshold kind of way of presenting ideas and sharing them.
No, agreed.
And I just add to it and say that even if you have one panel of data, it doesn't matter. If it's an idea that you're comfortable putting out, doesn't matter. If it can be put in words, just formulate an abstract and submit it. And that's how science works.
Awesome. I love it. I think that's very important to highlight. And I have a particular reason why I asked this question. But before I explain my reasoning behind the question, I wanted to ask you guys if there's anything else you'd like people to know about the event.
this is free. So please consider like submitting an abstract, presenting, and being there for the whole day. It'll be a great opportunity to like know the people, network, and learn about the research and the tools that are there.
Thank you. Anybody else before I explain why I was asking about poster presentations? I see nothing else. Yeah, please, Aditya, go ahead.
I mean, I cannot emphasize this enough. How many times do you get an opportunity to just be there without having to really ask your boss for money or apply to travel grants and so on? So it's a wonderful opportunity, and who knows, it could be next year one of you sitting with Yamina doing this podcast as an organizer. So it has been a great experience. I'm just talking on behalf of all of us at this point when I'm saying this, but I'm hoping all of my awesome co-organizers agree that it has been a learning experience and a great experience doing this. So yeah, and I've been a participant, and I think most of us have been on the first and second versions of the symposium as well. And if you want to know how those were, the organizers of the last two editions of the meeting actually wrote viewpoints on this, and it's available publicly online. You can read about this and the cool stuff that they did. And we are just hoping to continue that this year.
Wonderful. And if you can send me the links, I know I saw the two viewpoints, but if you can send me the links, we're happy also to link those on social media. All right, so one of the reasons I was asking about the poster presentation, the format, is because, as you all know, we have been at DrGPCR also organizing the DrGPCR Symposia for 2023. So instead of having a 1-week summit, I think, Gabrielle, you had presented at the summit at some point, we decided to split this by topic and have every 2 months a 1-day free symposium. And the next one is actually also in September. It's the last Friday of September. Yes, actually, September 22nd. It's not even the last Friday, but it's going to be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. as well. It's free. All you have to do is be part of the DrGPCR ecosystem. You don't have to register separately. We have so far 2 confirmed speakers. We're also looking for more speakers, and the topic is GPCRs as therapeutic modalities. we're always looking for what we've called poster presenters, and I think that's where the confusion came. We don't need a fully formatted poster. It's just an opportunity to come have conversations with your colleagues, bring a slide, don't bring a slide, bring an idea. You just have to, as Franziska said, have a title, have a 1-minute video abstract like we're just doing right now, explaining what you want to talk about. And there's a Google form to fill out and just come and join us. We'll be using a space called Kumo Space. A lot of Europeans were using Wonder, especially Ernest, and unfortunately Wonder went out of business, so we had to find a new space for us to use, and that was Kumo Space. It's very similar, and as you mentioned, Aditya, for the ECI GPCR Symposium, it's really a small little window where you can have up to 8 people and have conversations, and you have this little emoji where you have your picture actually, and you wander around a virtual room. And it's also free. So you'll get 2 full days of GPCR talks, September 7th to 8th. And then a couple of days later, you can come to the DrGPCR Symposium on GPCRs as therapeutic modalities. Our 2 confirmed speakers so far are Dr. Lauren Slosky from the University of Minnesota. Lauren was in Duke, at Duke, before starting her own group. And then we'll have Dr. Pierre Eftekari, who is the CSO of a company called Innoviem. Both speakers have been on the podcast, so if you're interested in learning more about their background before you come and listen to their talks, that's the place to go and listen in about their podcast episodes and their careers. The other thing I wanted to mention, and having all of you here, I think it's a good opportunity, is that the DrGPCR Ecosystem, where you can actually sign up and come and consume information, is 1 year old. So we launched last year at the end of July. In a year, we have gotten to over 1,000 registrations. People are coming and using and reading the news, listening to the news, and having you here this morning, and having the news about the Nectar meeting you're organizing in the ecosystem is one of the reasons why people come and read our weekly news, listen to the podcast and monthly news consumption as well, either on YouTube or in the Read News. I think that's all I had from a DrGPCR news perspective. Guys, anything you'd like to add before we adjourn?
I'd say congratulations on 1 year of the ecosystem. You're all doing great work, and we're happy that you also extend support to people like us who are essentially trainees trying to make it in the field, but also trying to gather others in the field who are like us, so that we can build a community free of paywalls. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Aditya. Yes, and I think thank you again. We're always happy to support in any way we can. We've done it with you guys, with your predecessors, where we were able to help spread the news. So anybody that's organizing a meeting or even thinking about organizing a meeting, we're happy to help, to build out a strategy to organize the meeting, to connect you with people who can help you organize those meetings. And we're always happy to support in any way possible. The ecosystem is here for the worldwide GPCR community. Even though you may be working on GRKs or beta-arrestins or any other protein associated with GPCR signaling, that's why we're here. And with this, if you guys don't have anything else to add to this news edition, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for the work that you've been putting into organizing the event in September. And we hope to see you in September. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon. I'm going to stop recording. Don't go anywhere. We're going to let people wonder what we talk about after we stop recording.